Hello friends, after our analysis of Yandex and StyleLauncher in the comments, you often mention Google. Like, everyone does it, and Google is not better. But is it so? Today we will plunge into the topic of how safe it is, how it protects your data, how it differs from other companies and what to do to feel protected. We will analyze everything on the shelves. From encryption to fines, from AI to educational programs. Plus we will give practical tips so that you yourself can control your privacy. Ready? Then let's start small. Google is often accused of monitoring users, selling data and draining it to third parties. But let's deal with the facts. Google is one of the largest technological companies and its business is largely built on processing data for advertising. However, this does not mean that your personal data, such as correspondence, or pictures, or in general there is the story of a browser, are transmitted to anyone. Google uses aggregated and anonymous data, which meet strict standards, such as GDPR, the European Data Protection Regulation, and CCPA, the Law on Consumer Protection in California. For example, in Google Analytics IP addresses, users are automatically anonymous, which excludes the transfer of personal information to Google Analytics data collection advertisers. This means that advertising campaigns see only common trends, not your specific actions. But is everything so perfect? Let's smoke deeper. Google uses advanced encryption technologies so that your data remains safe. Basic standard AECC. And how does it work? Data is divided into parts, each of which is encrypted with a unique date-encrypt key, or rather date. These keys, in turn, protect at another level of encryption, that is, key encryption key, stored in the safe key store system. And on top of all this there is a root key rootcaster, which adds another layer of protection. Even if the hacker charges one key, he will receive only a meaningless piece of data, and not all the information. Google Encryption Overlay. For evidence.
Minute. Information. Key encrypted key, or rather, what will we call it? This is the key that protects another key, that is, December. You're encrypting data, for example, letters in Gmail or letters on OnlyFans. DEC locks the data like a lock on a chest, and KEK hides DEK in a safe, even if the hacker finds DEK. Without KEK, he is useless. Google stores KEK in a protected KS system to protect your Arab data. It's like a double lock for your secrets.
Google strictly observes privacy laws, especially in Europe, where GDPR is valid. Since March, 2 versions of 2 have been introduced into the fashion concept. A tool that requires the clear consent of users to collect data. If you refuse cookies, Google does not collect your personal data. Instead, he uses episodic modeling. Behavior modeling tool, which analyzes the behavior of the user, who consent and predicts the actions of those who refused. This allows businesses to save up to 70% of conversions without violating your privacy. In simple words, if you do not want Google to know what sites you visit, just give up cookies. Your data will remain anonymous, and advertisers will only receive general statistics. This shows that Google gives you control over your information. Google Play Project is a system that protects Android users from malicious applications. In 2020, 4 years, she blocked 13 million dangerous applications loaded outside Google Play. Moreover, 90-2% of them were discovered using artificial intelligence. For example, in 2020, third year, AI revealed fake versions of the Minecraft game, which downloaded 30-5 million times, in just a few hours. This was made possible thanks to the teaching of algorithms on millions of examples of the harmful Google Play Protect report code. In 2020, fifth year, Google eliminated 62 vulnerabilities, including critical 0 days. The vulnerability that hackers learned about earlier developers. One of the examples of error in the USB audio driver Linux nucleus, which could allow hackers to access the device. Google quickly closed this hole. Moreover, in 2020, fifth year, Play Protect added scanning function during calls to protect you from scammers in real time. This function cannot be disabled, which guarantees constant protection. Google publishes translation reports, where it reveals how the government's requests to remove content or access to data are processed. In 2020, fourth years, 20-3% of such requests were rejected. To protect freedom of speech. For example, in India, Google refused to delete critical comments about the government, and in Turkey to block the social network that supports Take Plus LGBT. These decisions are publicly documented so that users could see how the company defends their rights. In China, Google went even further. To avoid data transfer to the authorities, the company limited access to its services. This shows that Google is ready to abandon the market for user protection. This approach distinguishes it from many other companies that can succumb to pressure. In May 20-25, Google paid a record fine of $1 billion Texas for insufficient transparency in the collection of geodata. The problem was that Google monitored the location of users, even with the location history function disconnected, and collected biometric data without clear consent. This is a serious miss. But he shows that Google obeys the laws and is ready to pay for mistakes. After the fine, the company improved the privacy settings interface so that users can better control their data. This is not Taillancher and Yandex, where half of your data is just stealing, and they don't even give you the right to completely control everything. So the Google is generally dangerous, or not? No. If you use his tools wisely and know how to configure it. If you do not know, neuron caches to help. Your privacy depends on how you set up your accounts and follow the updates. Google give you control, use it. Well, again, he gives you control, unlike Yandex. See, by the way, a video about Yandex, if you, however, did not watch it. Well, that's all. Guys, if you suddenly do not like Google, then you can choose Go. If you still have complaints, but do not use, for example, Yandex. Believe me, with Yandex, friendship is bad. Or do not use ttlauncher.org. Also not very good. Well, that's all again. All who were with me, until new meetings, until new adventures. Bye bye.